I just turned 30, and suffice to say, I'm not living my dream life. I am in a better place than a year ago, but it feels like the progress is a bit too slow, and I know I can do better. My 20s are behind me now, so I need to stop fooling around and get freaking serious. So that's why I decided to create a framework that will keep me accountable. On the date of this video, there's 300 days left of the year, and I am planning to achieve my goals by then. And if you're asking how I will achieve this, I will describe it in this video. 3 years ago, I moved to Australia from my home country in Europe, and I just continued on the default path of working in corporate. And I just grew increasingly more and more unhappy until last year. I just couldn't take it any longer, and so I decided to leave with no backup plan, really. After I quit, it felt amazing because I had all of a sudden all this free time to use however I wanted. But the reality hit quickly. I thought that I was ready to work on my dreams really hard, but instead I was hit with lack of structure, perfectionism, overthinking, and pressure. So in the last 6 months, I've been working on getting unstuck. I have been working out what works for me, what doesn't work for me, and creating routines and getting my mindset right. And now I'm ready to go full steam ahead. It's so important to me to achieve these goals because, quite frankly, that's the only path I see for myself. I always knew that working in corporate or just working for someone else in general is not my path, and I always wanted to have all the freedom I could, basically have all the time freedom and financial freedom and location freedom that I would ever want. I just want to live my life, and I also have so many ideas and want to do something meaningful, something that has a positive impact on people's lives. Step 1, set my goals. So the first thing to do, of course, is getting clear on what my goals actually are. And if you want to also do this, then I recommend to set 3, maximum 4 goals to focus on. 4 might be a bit too much already, but for me personally, I need those 4 things. Number 1, making $4,500 per month from my business. Number 2, consistently uphold to my routines to a point where it feels easy. Be in the best mental and physical shape of my life. And number 4, work through my fears and limiting beliefs. The meaning of these goals is very deliberate because right now the most important thing to me is to make my business do well so that I make money by myself as a free agent, as a business owner or entrepreneur, so that I don't have to work for anyone else. And I decided on $4,500 because that is enough to cover my bills and expenses and also have some money left over to save. Number 2 is extremely important to me because I have been trying to create consistent routines, and it has been going better and better, I guess, but it's really not where I want it to be at. And it is absolutely crucial to achieve your goals. Proper routines will get you where you want to be. So I think it's very, very important, and that's why it's my goal number 2. Be in the best mental and physical shape of my life. It is very, very important to me because health is just center of everything, right? And many people forget about their health very often when they are working towards a goal. Often it's some kind of a goal, business goal. They completely forget about their health, and they don't realize that good health, will actually make it easier for them, and it will actually help them to achieve their dreams. And so that's why I think you cannot forget about this part. For me, that's gonna be at the center of everything I do. And then last one, work through my fears and limiting beliefs. Again, very, very crucial, because I realized that you can want something as much as you like, but if there are things holding you back, like fears, limiting beliefs, etc., you've lost. Like, you won't get there, because you need to address those things that are holding you back. And so I am committing myself to working on these things every single day without any excuses. Step 2. Now that I know what my goals are, I broken down those goals into habits. So what habits should I put in place so that I get where I want to be, so that I achieve all those goals? This is very important. So I wrote everything down and then scheduled everything into my calendar. I guess that's step number 3. Time block your habits. You need to see them somewhere. You need to have reminders of what you need to do every single day. Especially for me, very, very important, because I cannot rely on my memory or on my motivation. So I need it written down and be like, you have to do this. So after scheduling these habits, they're in my calendar, but I also need to have them on paper, because once you close your laptop or don't use your phone, they're out of sight. And paper is much more tangible and accessible to me in a way. So I created a habit tracker in my journal, where I'm going to track the habits every single day. Also, I added many things into my calendar, but in this tracker, I only edit the very top priorities. So if I need to look at something to see what are those number 1 priority things that I need to do and need to prioritize above everything else, I will look in my journal at this tracker. When writing down habits that I want to follow, I asked myself some questions. One of those questions was, which habits will not only directly take me to my goal, like for example, working on my business every day, right? That's a habit that will directly take me to my goal. But what other habits will support that habit? So for example, I know that it's much easier for me to do things when I go to the gym in the morning, or when I go outside every day, or when I don't scroll on my phone, or I'm not on my phone at all, and I don't multitask. So these things make everything easier. And so I added those as well into my habits. And then also the opposite is true. There are things that make everything much harder. And so those are the things that I wrote down for myself as to what to not do and what to avoid. And step number 4 is aligning my identity to these goals. When I think about the goals I want to achieve, who do I need to be to get there? Or what type of person is the person that does these things consistently? So, for example, I wrote down that I am someone who is consistent with their routines. I am someone who loves their routines and truly thrives with them. I am someone who always keeps their word to myself and others. I am someone who cares about their health strongly. I am strong and responsible, and I can be relied upon 100%. I'm someone who is courageous and puts themselves out there to achieve their dreams. So even if you have set up all these things you might not align your identity to them. So for example, if you plan to go to the gym every day and your goal is to be super fit and healthy, but you believe that, oh, I'm just not the type of person who goes to the gym in the morning, or I'm not the type of person who can exercise every day, or whatever it is, it will be very hard to do these things. So that's why I wrote down the identity that I am aligning myself to, basically so that all the excuses go out of the window and I know that I can do this, I guess. Okay, so that's basically it for today. That's my plan, and I will be providing some updates on how I'm going. So this is only episode 1, so follow along to see how I go. See you in the next one. Bye!